Hey guys, this is Mark, and I wanted to give you a quick idea about what this project is about and what my idea was as I was making it. As a teacher, I believe that reading is really important, especially like developing a love for reading in our children so that they continue doing it for their whole lives. But these days, with like computers and tabs and smartphones and video games, it seems like it's hard for books to compete, so I was hoping to try to make reading more fun. This is based upon the Choose Your Own Adventure stories that I loved growing up, and I've started making stories for my nieces and my students where I would just make up random things and give them choices, and they loved them. And so I ended up writing this story for my nieces, but then I talked to Andy, and he said he could actually draw illustrations, and I realized that we could maybe make a book for people. And so imagine that you are with your child, you're laying in bed, telling them a good night story, and you're reading this to them. And so you start and you say, one night you are lying in bed and your mother kisses your head and says good night. When she leaves the room, she turns off the light and closes your door a bit. You can still hear her walking around in the house. Suddenly a light comes on in your closet. Do you go see what the light is or close your eyes and fall asleep? And so what they do is they just touch their choice on the tab. And so if they want to go see what light is, which I recommend, then they just click and they are there. And it says you open your closet door and you see a tiny man holding a candle. He's wearing a crown on his head. Do you run back to your bed and close your eyes or ask, who are you? And it continues like this. And this book alone has about 63 pages. And that's huge for a children's book. Most of them have like between 20 and 30 pages at most. The next book I've already written has about 80 or so. And so there's a lot of information here, but it goes by really quick. These pages are quite small, and each one of these is a separate page. And Andy's already drawn quite a few illustrations. I've seen this one, and I really loved it. He took my story and he changed it into something that's real. And I think that that's the key thing, you know? And so that's what this Kickstarter is all about. I want to raise the money to have illustrations, to make this into an app on all platforms, Android and Apple, and even on a computer. And so besides doing it together, my dream is now with today's technology, we can make it so like children can read alone. Even if they don't know how to read, they can choose an option and someone's voice, not my voice because I can't speak very well, but someone's voice, they would start reading and they'd say, standing on the hill, you can see for miles in all directions. And it'll highlight the word as it says it, which could help your child increase their word recognition ability, which is one step in learning how to read. And to me, as I keep trying to tell people, I think this is awesome because right now, when you read stories to your children, it's mainly like a passive activity. They just lay there, they look at the picture, and they enjoy it. It's a good time together. But imagine how much more fun it is when they actually get to make choices, when it's like an active adventure. And they get to decide where they go. They decide, are they going to go to the lake, the forest, or the desert? And I think that this is a key step in competing with video games and computer games because this seems like a game, except they're actually reading. And that's a huge deal. And so yeah, this is my goal.
Hi guys, I just wanted to introduce some of the images that will be going into this first book, The Rainbow Stone, that Mark and I are working on. This image that you're looking at is actually the very first image of the story where your mother tucks you into bed, a light comes on in your closets, and you have the choice. Do you want to go look in the closets or stay in bed? One of the main things with the story that I wanted to do was not only keep it very colorful so that it attracts, so your child is very attracted to it, but also associate the text in areas of the image that you would be going to explore throughout the adventure. So if you want to stay in bed, you can stay in bed and close your eyes. If you want to go to the closet, then you could go to the closets. This image is sort of the home page of the Rainbow Stone, where once you get to this hill, you have the choice of 3 different areas that you want to go. So do you want to go to the forest to explore? Do you want to go to the lake to explore? Or do you want to go to the desert to explore? On each one of these, I wanted to keep them sort of color coordinated with the atmosphere of those areas. So this third image is an example of if you go to the lake, you meet this girl who can help you swim underwater. She's sort of a mermaid, but she can also stand on land, so I gave her legs. And you go swimming with her, you end up getting the choice. Do you want to look into this bag that you find on the seafloor, or do you want to continue swimming around? This fourth image is an example of if you go to the forest. So this is right when you get to the edge of the forest. You sort of hear these animals that are moving around, except we won't have audio, so I kind of drew in some hidden areas, hidden imagery of animals that sort of intrigue you. If you want to chase after the animals, then you can do that. Or if you want to continue exploring through the forest, then you can continue doing that. So these are some examples of the imagery that you'll see in the book. Hope you like them. Thanks.